Hello my friends, and welcome to Tom's Tinkering and Adventures. The last couple days I've been kind of not doing a whole lot here around the Global Domination headquarters. Enjoyed a day down at the beach, watching the police officers ride motorcycles, and then I took a day off for myself and rode my motorcycle. So I got some catching up to do around here. I trimmed my palm tree a couple days ago, and they've just been kind of sitting here on the parking pad, so I need to take care of that. I had something pretty cool happen today though. I got up, went for my morning run, bumped it up a little bit, ran 4 miles today, so still not a lot of miles, but this working out is paying off. Check this out, found a crisp $1 bill. Yeah. Every day. If I find a dollar bill every day, well, it wouldn't be much money. But my nose is dirty. I've been cleaning the rafters up here. So I got some stuff out of there, moved a few things around, cleared out a little bit of space, got rid of some stuff. That would have been nice to notice when I started the video, but that's how you know I'm working. That's right. And plus the safety squints. So I noticed that I had about 6 sleeping bags, and there was like 3 of them up in the rafters, and I know I haven't used them in a long time, so I dropped them down. And I don't know if in your area, if any of y'all do Facebook, but at least in my area they have this website called Buy Nothing, and well, it's a local group, so it's Buy Nothing and then whatever your town is. So on that you can either ask, like, hey, does anyone have a sleeping bag? Or you can post up something. I have 2 sleeping bags. And people respond, and then they show up and pick up your stuff, which is kind of nice. You know, I've been really lucky. I've given away some stuff, and people have come over and given me beer and food and all kinds of stuff as a token of appreciation. And I've picked up a few things. This one lady had some Starbucks instant coffee, and it was past the expiration date by a month. Well, I took that stuff with me on my adventure, my riding adventure, and I used it all up. I'm not too worried about instant coffee being a month past its expiration date. It was like 4 or 5 months past by the time I drank it, but here I am still around, even though I drank Starbucks coffee. But got a blank spot here where the scooter was at, the green scooter. My friend came and picked that up. He needed it for his cousin to ride to college. He'd given it to me, and I kind of got it going. It had been sitting for a little while, and I don't really need all these vehicles I got around here. It was more fun just getting it going and tooling around the neighborhood a little bit with it, and now I got the 250 scooter anyway. And I got the ladder there because I was moving some other items up there. I've got a lot of motorcycle items up there. There's a whole set of plastics, and there's an extra tank up there and extra seats, and so just trying to get some stuff straightened out. But to the task at hand, I've got all these goodies here. Now, I was thinking I was going to put them in my truck, but I like having my truck available. I've got my ramps in the back just in case. But what I do have is I have my son's pickup. So my son's pickup is sitting here because he is currently stationed in Okinawa, Japan. He's in the United States Air Force serving his country. Let me get here in the shade because it's hot out here. So I am storing his pickup, and it just sits here most of the time. I get it out every once in a while, but it does work pretty good for storage. So I can put all those palm branches in the back of his truck, and then if it's full to the top, I can take it to the dump, or I can continue working on trimming a few other items. This pepper tree here is getting a little bit robust over the fence. It's on my neighbor's side, but it's grown over the fence onto my side. And these bushes right there, I don't know what those are. They're getting a little bit thick. We're going to back his truck up to the edge of the retaining wall here, and I'm going to have to cut some of these palm branches down because they're very long. We'll see if we can't get them in there. I got a lizard right over here. Do you see him? And maybe you can see him. He's right over there by that planter box in the shade. It gets hot, the lizards come out around here. Well, let's see if we can get this Ford F-150 running. And I got a little story about that truck, so we'll see if we can't start it. It's been sitting for about 4 months. If it starts up, I'll give you a little story about it. Well, the battery was just a little bit too dead to start it, so we're going to put the charger on it here. I'm going to show you one of my favorite tools I have in my garage for working in the yard. I used to use a corded hedge trimmers, and then my buddy got one of these. Let me get it in, there you go. It's a Ryobi 18-volt cordless hedge trimmers, and this thing works pretty good. I have some Ryobi cordless tools already, but I really like this thing. Don't have to worry about the cord. I can come way down all the way at the end of my drive. I have a pretty big driveway, you know. So I can go down and trim all these bushes all the way down. The ones at the end of my driveway, anything along the fence line here. And the batteries last a fair amount of time. And I have plenty of batteries because I have 2 cordless drills, a cordless impact driver, a flashlight. I think I have 6 batteries. If I get them all charged up, I can do the whole yard. Especially if I take the first one that goes dead, take it up and throw it on the charger while I'm working. It's not a problem at all. And I've taken these out on the trails, dirt bike trails, and gone out there and then helped clear the trails with them. They work great. So much so that my dual sport riding club always asks me to bring them back every time we do trail maintenance. But I'm going to go ahead and trim because I can barely get into the truck here. I parked it pretty close. And also look at all this crap that got on the truck. I think it's from the tree. It's really, the shadows are kind of bad, but it's really kind of sticky crap. So, Aaron, if you're watching this video, my son, I'm gonna do my best to clean this truck up, but oh, it's a mess. I can't park it this close to the tree next time. Well, I don't know if you can tell, but I've cleaned things up a little bit here. And it's not raining. I'm dripping with sweat, but I did manage to trim this down a considerable amount. And I got caught in what I like to call a might as well moment. While I'm trimming a little bit here to get to the truck, I might as well trim this and I might as well trim that. And next thing you know, I've got a whole nother truckload of stuff to go over to the landfill. Yeah, look at these piles of leaves down here. Big pile of leaves there. Big pile of leaves there. I haven't even got all of them. But anyone at all familiar with a project, a home remodeling project, a car project, something like that, you understand a what might as well moment. You know, let's say you're getting ready to replace the toilet. Well, might as well replace the floor now that we got the toilet up, and might as well replace the shut-off valve, and might as well replace the vanity. Or if you're working on a truck, let's say, you under the hood, and you're working on one item and you have to take another item off to get to it. Well, might as well replace that while I'm in there, and might as well replace this while I'm in there because I'm already in there. So those things happen quite often on projects, and I really got caught on it here, trimming this up. And now, like I said, I'm going to have to make 2 truckloads, but I did all that with the Ryobi, 1 battery. It's still going, and I don't know how much time it took me, but it wasn't all that much time. So let's see if the old Ford starts up here. We're going to have another might as well moment here, because I might as well clean this thing up. Might as well clean it up once I get it up. I was just going to back it up here, but now I'm going to take it up and try to get some of this stuff off of it. As I was saying with the might as wells that'll happen when you're working on a project, I started this video with a intent to just show another exciting day in my life, loading up some palm branches that I trimmed off of this tree 3 or 4 days ago because they've been sitting there, and I did a few other things. You know, I make a video almost every day, and you know, I'm just a normal guy with a normal life, but I do feel like I've been blessed. So I might as well get this out of my beard, pepper tree stuff, and I might as well just change the whole outlook on this video, because in getting them palm leaves picked up, I decided to use my son's truck, which then led to me clearing out a whole bunch of brush, and then having to charge his pickup battery, and then having to wash his pickup. And now in the middle of all this, I need to have my mirror here before I get started on video. That's okay. In the middle of all this, it just got me thinking about my son. So I'm gonna do a video a little bit about my son. I have two kids, a son and a daughter. My daughter's the oldest, my son's the youngest. They're 3 years apart, and both of them are in the Air Force. And both of them are out of the home taking care of themselves, and I'm very proud of them both. But today, I'm gonna talk about my son a little bit. So I have forever doomed him to be a tinkering and adventuring man himself, I believe. His very first vehicle was this Volkswagen Baja Bug, and we started with a Volkswagen that my friend gave to me, and we ended up buying another Volkswagen to use to make 2 into 1, and then we bought a dune buggy to use the wheels and the tires off of it, and we built that car. That was his first car. He built it starting at age 13. He got it done shortly after he was 16. And that was a very good father-son project, and he still has the car, and I hope that circumstances work out that he can keep that car forever and hopefully pass it on someday to a son of his own or daughter of his own, however it may go, or just keep it forever. Whatever works for him. I hope that circumstances work out like that. I hear a lot of people, who end up selling their first car due to whatever, but in the meantime, it sits here, and I'm not taking very good care of it. So, son, I hope you can get your car soon. And then I said that I would talk a little bit about his truck. So this is his pickup here. So when my son graduated high school, he decided he wanted to go to Northern Arizona University, and that's in Flagstaff. It's about 500 miles away from here. San Diego is beautiful weather all year round. I mean, if it gets below 60, we complain, and if it gets above 80, we complain. We're totally blessed with beautiful weather, and of course we pay for it here, for those of you who don't know. So in that regards, this Volkswagen is a great little car for San Diego. It doesn't have a heater, it doesn't have air conditioning, it doesn't go extremely fast, but it can go on the freeway. But it doesn't need an air conditioner, it doesn't need a heater. It's a great car for that. It's not a great car to drive 500 miles away to Flagstaff. It's not a great car in Flagstaff because it snows there. It'd probably be pretty fun to ride around for a little bit, but it's not the best choice of vehicle. Yeah, I have earned this. I've been working all morning already, so cheers. So in that regards, he got admitted into NAU, and we started looking for a car for him. So we picked him up a little used 4-door hatchback. It was a nice little car, Pontiac Vibe, kind of sporty little rig, and he really liked it. It had a 6-speed manual transmission, which is all he ever wanted. And then he got a job delivering pizzas, and he hated having a manual transmission. But one day, he was taking his friends out to pick up some food or something. I know they all had sodas in Flagstaff, and a Toyota pickup ran a red light and T-boned his beautiful little car and totaled it out. And he was just everyone was safe and no one got injured, but the car was totaled and he didn't know what to do, and he was freaking out, and we had insurance on it, and it was clearly the other guy's fault, all that, but I mean, what's he gonna do in the meantime? So karma is an interesting thing, and I don't know how much I believe in it, but when my son was in school, starting, I don't know how old he was, kindergarten, he was in the Boy Scouts. He started in the Cub Scouts and worked all his way up, and he became an Eagle Scout. And for those of you familiar with the Eagle Scout program, you have to do an Eagle Scout project. And when you do an Eagle Scout project, you're supposed to have an Eagle Scout mentor. So an Eagle Scout project could be something such as putting some benches in at a park, or clearing out, an area that is all covered in trash, whatever. It's supposed to have a lasting impact. There's a few, tick off items that it's supposed to meet criteria. So what my son wanted to do was help the garden program at the local school here. Well, he chose a teacher at that school who was a friend of ours, a friend of the family, and I think it kind of surprised our friend by choosing him for his mentor. And then once my son went through the Eagle Scout Board of Review and was deemed that he would be an Eagle Scout, they have an Eagle, I forget what they call it now. Anyway, it's the ceremony where they present them with their Eagle Scout certificate and all that. And at that, my son was able to recognize our family friend who was his Eagle Scout mentor. And I think that really meant a lot to our friend. He'd never been a part of that before, and he wasn't expecting it, so it was quite the honor for him. So, we're going to fast forward again to where my son got into the car accident. We were just talking about, well, we'll just find another vehicle, don't worry about it. Well, our family friend, who was my son's Eagle Scout mentor, he had just retired from his job, and him and his wife were planning on loading up in an RV, just like I got behind me here. They had purchased an RV, they were selling their home and getting rid of all their worldly possessions for the most part. And they were planning on traveling the country for an undetermined amount of time. So they had invited us over for a barbecue, and they had some things they were going to give us. A few of the items that were just, really weren't worth selling, but were of value. It was some plants and those sort of things. And we had mentioned that my son had been in a car accident, but he was okay and all that, and we were looking for a vehicle. Well, our friend had this pickup, and it needed a little bit of work. He was just going to donate it to a local charity. And he said that he would be honored to give it to my son. Now, if that isn't being in the right place at the right time, and a little bit of karma of the world going around and coming around, I don't know what it is. My son came home the next weekend. We went to Walmart, we bought a battery. We put a battery in this truck, and it started and ran. And then we brought it home, and we gave it a tune-up. We did spark plugs, wires. I think we had to change the coil unit. We flushed the radiator, oil and filter. We checked the brakes, which I think he said were just done. And my son did a really nice job cleaning it up. This was used on kind of a small farm, so it was pretty dirty. So my son did a really good job on cleaning it up, and then we got some seat covers for him for Christmas. Oh, I can't see in that door. We'll have to get in on the other one. And then he did a little custom stuff to it. My son painted this front bumper black, and he painted the wheels black. There you go. He got some fairly decent seat covers in here. Cleaned the whole interior up. But how amazing is that? He ended up getting a pickup for free from a family friend of ours because it was kind of like paying it forward. Karma, whatever you want to call it. So I'm a believer in it. I'm a believer in it. If you do good things will come your way. And my son has this Ford F-150 waiting for him here when he gets back from Japan. Whatever he decides to do with it, that's on him. He's a good guy, my son. I know you're probably watching this. You're a good guy. You listen to your folks a little bit. You take our advice, and you make the best decisions for you. So there you have it. Sometimes life changes things for you, just like my video here. Yeah, my camera's almost falling over off this darn Ford. These Fords aren't very level. So yeah, I'm gonna finish washing his pickup for him. I'll get these palm branches loaded up, but next time I come on video, they're all already going to be in there. And this video is just going to be kind of just a shout out to those of you out there who believe that taking care of others is its own reward, but you will be taken care of as well. Thank you very much for watching. Get out and find your adventure. Adios.